What exactly is going on underneath the ground? What's the biology? What's it doing? Why is it there? And things like that. So,
Yeah, so really throughout college, we were studying the physical and the chemical forms of it, and they briefly mentioned biology, the three components of what makes soil soil. Um, but we never really even dug into the biology. And what really wasn't until, you fall into that soil health rabbit hole, start your YouTube and all these things, and then you start finding white papers on stuff, and you're just, wow, where are we going with all this, right? The biology is it's everything for me. The more I understood how important biology was, um, it really started to make things click. And the simplest thing that I can say as far as how biology is and what it works, if you think of the soil food web, what it is it's essentially the process of eating and being eaten. That is what biology is and does for us, and how powerful it is. But it's such a simple thing. It's things preying and being predated on. With biology, there's things going on underneath our feet all the time. Things are being, you got bacteria which are being consumed by nematodes, and it's just there's something is bigger eating whatever ate the next biggest thing, right? So, and that just follows through all the way above soil, and how the plants work in synchrony with biology. Um, it's such a powerful deal. It takes the plants to feed the biology. It takes the plants to capture the sun, but in turn, how that all feeds back to each other. So uh, the thing is with biology is it's there, but the thing is we can also improve what's there and grow with what's there. Um, our job as grazing managers is simply that. How can we grow that habitat for that biology to proliferate and do its job? And I love this slide here because it really just ties them together. We hear many times about healthy plants, healthy soil, healthy plants, healthy animals, healthy humans. And to me, it's just we are all so interconnected with what's going on underneath our feet that the better job we do of stewarding that biology, the fungi, the bacteria, the nematodes, all those things that even, working in agri-retail, when you hear nematodes and funguses and bacterias and viruses, well, we're doing everything we can to hold those issues back, right? To prop up a monoculture, and that's the complete wrong thing that Mother Nature wants. And that's why I think, grazing livestock, grazing ruminants on these acres, getting them back out on the land, letting them inoculate that land. It's just more of a natural process, through the saliva, through the urine, through the hoof, through the dandruff, through the manure. Everything that's cycling that back in and inoculating that soil just helps connect everything to that plant and everything back to that animal, which eventually relates back to us. And you hear many times if Provenza, Stefan Van Vliet, those folks who are actually studying the nutrient density of this meat. Zach Bush even talks about it some if you get into some of his stuff, how knowing that food and knowing how nutrient dense it is and how well it satiates you, if you will, and you can connect back with that food. So it's so powerful for us to harness that biology, to let it do its job, provide the habitat for it, and only to help improve human population and human health for years to come. So that's why I love looking at this picture and seeing the relationship of the biology on the plants, the biology in the room, and the biology in the soil, and how it connects back to us as humans as well.
when you start looking at things like that and seeing it as a big picture, it's so much more than just the soil. I mean, it's so vastly different than just, well, how can I improve my soil? You're not only improving your soil, you're improving the whole ecosystem, including humans around us. And
That's right.
the deeper you get in that, it's pretty mind blowing, the
That's right.
complexity of it for sure.